It's a grey and wet afternoon in Edinburgh, but there is one bright patch in the east of the city, smiling faces everywhere in anticipation of the first Edinburgh derby of the season. Hibs against Hearts. Skill, drama, passion and no doubt controversy, all but guaranteed. Hibs against Hearts, one of Scottish football's great occasions, and for the fans, the bragging rights are almost as important as the SPL points at stake. Hello, good afternoon to you from Easter Road. It's all live. We're just about 5 minutes or so away from kick-off time, and my guests in our studio here are two of the Livingston boys, who are certainly one of the success stories of the Scottish football season so far, Stuart Lovell and John Robertson. And after that win yesterday, Stuart, it must be a very happy place to be playing your football just now.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're really pleased with the way we've done so far. A little bit of an unexpected result at Kilmarnock yesterday, but thoroughly deserved, I thought.
Yeah, and of course you're an ex-Hibby. Robbo here's an ex-Jambo, so is this where you two stopped talking to each other?
No, well, we've said we've had some friendly banter all week, and I'm sure it'll continue right through the game.
Yeah, what kind of game do you expect today? It's a wet afternoon, wet pitch. Sometimes that makes for a better match almost, doesn't it?
Sometimes, yeah, because it's, you know, it's slippy out there and mistakes will be made because it's quite tense, but I can't see it being a classic. I think it'll be tight, and you know, you say the first goal's always important in a derby, but I think particularly today, the team that gets the first goal will certainly take the upper hand in the match.
Yeah. And as we know, Stuart, Hibs are very much at the upper hand in recent years, whereas it just one win in the last 10 for Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Since Alex McLeish took over here, Hibs have done very well in the derbies, but I tend to think that it will be a tight game because neither side has come into this in great form.
So today could be the kind of match or the kind of result that will give them a lift for the rest of the season, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I still believe that Hibs are a stronger side than Hearts, and I feel that they will show that throughout the season. But derby games, you know, are difficult to predict. I just feel that with home advantage, that could prove to be the difference. All
right, well, let me just remind you as well that we're asking you this afternoon to choose your man of the match. And if you agree with Eric Black, you could win yourself a DVD player just in time for Christmas. There's the number to dial for our Bank of Scotland Man of the Match competition. It's 0900 10 200 25. The lines will be open until just about the full-time whistle. It will cost you 60 pence a minute. You could win that DVD player. 0900 10 200 25. Just a quick word on the Hearts lineup in particular, John, because two debutants, Alan Maybury, who's come up from Leeds, and Ricardo Fuller, the Jamaican, who's signed on a 3-month loan. Be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because it's a hell of a match to come straight into. But Craig's convinced the right back's been a problem position for Hearts for a few years now. And he's brought the lad Maybury in. He's very, very quick, tremendous pedigree. I think he'll like this. He's played at the top level of Leeds. This game won't faze him. Ricardo Fuller, Craig says, is a Paulo one-chop type player. He can do absolutely anything from one scale to the other. So it'll be interesting, to say the least, to see how he does. And obviously, from a Hearts point of view, I hope they both have great games and they can maybe take all 3 points away.
Well, I'm sure Stuart disagrees with that, but let's go over for kick-off time then. We're only just a couple of minutes away, so let's enjoy it all. Our commentary team this afternoon, Eric Black, and firstly, Rob McLean.
Thanks, Diggy. The strains of Happy Birthday have been ringing around Easter Road pre-kick-off, and for that you have to look back almost exactly a year. It's a year ago tomorrow that Hearts came here and were thumped by 6 goals to 2, and these Hibs supporters won't be letting the Hearts fans forget about it. And the wide open spaces in the Hearts area for this match, 3,500, that stand accommodates, but they're not expecting much more than 1,000 Hearts supporters to turn up. Not happy, the Hearts support, about the ticket pricing policy at Easter Road. Prices between £20 and £30 to get into this match, and a lot of the Hearts supporters have stayed away. So good afternoon to you if you're watching on television instead of coming to the ground for this first Edinburgh derby of the season. The rain pouring down in Edinburgh. It is going to be a massive atmosphere for this match. The teams, firstly, Hibs, Matthias Jack suspended, of course. Alan Orman comes in on the right side of midfield. De La Cruz moves in one. And on the left side, Eric, one of Scotland's more promising players, Ian Murray.
Yeah, definitely. He's a great prospect for the future. He's a very versatile player, Ian, but he's a real good athlete. Good touching the ball, very good deliveries in wider areas. And it's a big day for him, but he's certainly more than capable of coping with it.
That's Hibs. This is Hearts, who go with the team which beat St Johnstone last weekend, with one notable exception. Andy Kirk is injured. Thankfully, it's not too serious. On loan, Jamaican striker Ricardo Fuller makes his first Hearts appearance in the Edinburgh Derby, having got a work permit just in time. And doubts, I think, for Craig Levine about his match fitness, Eric. But if you're not lifted by this, you won't be lifted by anything.
Oh, absolutely. Fitness doesn't come into it, at least for the first hour and 10 minutes or so. But it's a big game for him, but he certainly is an unpredictable one. But this could be the one that will take him close to the Hearts fans.
The man in the middle, and he's going to get a soaking this afternoon, is Mike McCurry. Hibs have lost only once at home this season. That was to Celtic. Hearts have won away only once this season. Neither in fantastic form, as Stuart Lovell said. Free kick-off, and the first meeting of Hearts and Hibs this season is underway. Well, it's a slippy surface, as Rick Colgan has just found out. Aims for Paco Luna, headed away by Andy Webster. Grant Brebner's first involvement. Now Alan Orman. Forward to De La Cruz. What a start! 36 seconds! Hibs are ahead! His first goal for Hibs, Ulises De La Cruz. And they don't come much more memorable than that. Ali McLeish hides the smile.
What a start for Hibs. Wonderful ball out to Orman. Looks to threaten. He turns in De La Cruz, doesn't even lift his head, and it hits the top corner, and Nami's nowhere. Turns in again, left foot straight, right in the top corner. What a start for Hibs.
Antti Niemi was just frozen to the spot here. He couldn't quite believe it. The placing was first rate. Hibs 1, Hearts 0. And let me remind you, that was 36 seconds.
We're allowed to go for the man of match after that time, Rob.
Any time is the right time for the DVD recorder. Ricardo Fuller gets his first touch, but that's a free kick. And taken quickly by Stephen Simmons and given away. Ian Murray patrolling the left side of midfield for Hibs, trying to get outside Alan Maybury. Cross comes Scott Severin to help out. Free kick. Fiercely contested this match will be, of that there's no doubt. Hibs fans shout, we want 7. We're putting back, of course, to 6-2 last season. Certainly the dream starts for them. O'Neill gets a touch, and Luna. Now Brewster. Presley to Niemi. He must still be shaking his head in disbelief at the opening to this game. Nodded down by Brewster for O'Neill. Hibs starting well, not just because of the goal, but they're pushing it around quite nicely as well. Orman wants it from Brebner. Having a run at Flugel. And Thomas Flugel stopped him with a sliding tackle. Stephen Simmons, a tall order for a 19-year-old, but no lacking in confidence. The tackles flying in the midfield. It wouldn't be an Edinburgh derby without them. Uli Larsson's pass for Luna. Presley works it on to Juanjo. This will be his second last game for Hearts. One to come. His contract's up at the end of the month. Frank Sosie covering across. Experience can be a big thing in this fixture. Well, if Alan McLeish was ecstatic at that opening goal, Craig Levein must have been pretty deeply depressed at his team getting off to that sort of start. With the free kick, aims for Paco Luna, got his head to it. Presley had to be decisive, and he was tripped by Brewster. Then the Hibs strikers follow through, and a word in his ear from Mike McCurry.
Yeah, it's a ball into the box. Great leap by Luna here to get the flick on. Presley does well to cover, and Brewster just comes through and clicks his heels. But and again, Mahi just gets a free kick. But good defending from Hearts.
Simmons, away by Fennick. Flugel trying to force his way through. No time being allowed on the ball. Mahi. Fuller. Still Ricardo Fuller. Tried to turn it back initially with his heel. Then at a crack from an angle.
Well, he's made a good run into a good area, tries to flick it back with his heel, gets the break of the ball and actually loses his footing. His standing foot comes away. But he's shown us that he's keen to get into the box, and his first run was certainly very positive.
On loan from Tivoli Gardens, the Jamaican club, Ricardo Fuller, 22 years of age. He was on loan at Crystal Palace last season, so he knows all about British football. And Craig Levein reckons it's worth a gamble to pitch him in to this high-octane atmosphere. Here's the other new boy, Alan Maybury, 23 years old, here on a 4-year contract from Leeds United. Played in the Champions League for Leeds last season and twice capped by the Republic of Ireland as well. Played against Greece and the Czech Republic. So, a player of some ability, and it was two Scots at Ellen Road, Eddie Gray and Roy Aitken, who said to him, Hearts could be a good move for you. 6 minutes in, and I think a lot of people inside the ground, Eric, still recovering from that stunning start.
Oh, it's an unbelievable start, certainly for Hibs, and that'll give them undoubtedly the ascendancy so early on. But to be fair, Hearts have started to come back into it a wee bit. They need now to keep possession of the ball and try and threaten at least the Hibs goal in the next couple of minutes.
A match that matters so much in Edinburgh. You can keep your old firm match as far as fans here are concerned. Unlucky Alan Orman, made a good run. And the pace of the ball off the pitch, the wet pitch, was the difference between that being a good pass and not so good. Willie sees De La Cruz, good touch on a difficult surface. Brebner from Murray. Grant Brebner again. Sosie to Fennick. Overran it. And Thomas Flugel hurt. Then Fennick's follow through. Alan Orman. Luna works it on for John O'Neill. That's good skill. Fouled by Juanjo. Free kick in a position which Frank Sosie will fancy. And the Hibs captain strides forward in menacing fashion towards this dead ball situation. And on a playing surface which has a fair bit of skid about it. Not much doubt that Frank Sosie will be testing out Antti Niemi here, or certainly hoping to. Scored so many times, Sosie, from just this sort of situation. Everyone behind it for Hearts. Sosie, too high. Wouldn't quite come down quickly enough for him.
Well, it's a great strike though. Difficult to see whether it was hitting target, but it was a lovely strike. He was getting it up and over, and fortunately for for Hearts. Somebody's got a touch on it on the wall and sent it out for a corner.
Yeah, it was Ricardo Fuller, in fact, who skimmed that over. De La Cruz threatening again. Alec McLeish trying to make himself heard. Pennick hesitated for a moment. And Alan Orman taking no chances. Back it goes to the so far untested Nick Colgan. Andy Webster's header came off. Paco Luna. Good forcing play from John O'Neill. Now to Lee Larson. Testing out Maybury. De La Cruz again. Brevner hammered a shot into the ground and it spun wide. And it's Hibs who are doing all the threatening and attack.
Yeah, Hibs are making really good use of the two wider players, Lowerson and Orman on the other side. Hearts are having to come really tight in midfield and they're allowing those two to sit out there and keep the width, and Hibs are transferring the ball very quickly and taking full advantage at the moment.
John O'Neill winning a good header. He started very well for Hibs. An influential figure at the heart of the midfield, O'Neill. Good movement from Luna. Kept that in. John O'Neill, a big player for Hibs, Eric.
Oh, he certainly is. He's a quality player. This season, I think, even last season, he came into his own, and obviously was talking about him going into the Scotland squad, and I think he certainly thoroughly deserves that.
I wonder what Alan Maybury makes of it all in these early stages. There's a tug at the shirt of Juanjo there. It's a throw-in. Maybury for Fuller. Away by Orman. Andy Webster. Two 19-year-olds in the Hearts starting lineup. Simmons and Webster. O'Neill getting the ball down. Suzy, Orman, challenged by Flugel, and it breaks for De La Cruz. Good challenge from Simmons.
Yeah, here we see the goal again. Doesn't even lift his head, clips it with his left foot, and it finds itself right in the top corner.
Meantime, it was De La Cruz caught offside. Time flies in the Edinburgh Derby. Nearly 12 minutes gone already. And it releases De La Cruz, who's written his name all over the match so far. Nick Colgan, who was given his Chelsea debut by Ruud Gullit a few years back, but that was his one and only appearance for the London club. He spent time at Bournemouth as well before coming to Hibs, and he's been a top signing by Alec McLeish. Hibs have lost the last two matches to Livingston and Dundee United since that terrific performance here against AEK Athens, which so nearly got them through in Europe. It was a heroic show that night. Alec McLeish preaching to his players to give them more of that. And certainly got the start here. Hibs, they're needing a little bit of consistency, but struggling to live up to the expectations they set for themselves with their top showing last season. Juanjo, that's a free kick just outside the penalty box. Unnecessary from Craig Brewster.
Yeah, well, it's a striker's tackle, but that's what Hearts need. Hearts need to get Juanjo on the ball and let him run at people. Create problems in the Hibs defence. He's certainly, that's where he's at his strongest. And again, he's gained a very dangerous free kick.
Guangzhou in his last Edinburgh derby to take the free kick. Alan Orman with the header away. Hearts have it back. Thomas Flugel. Good footwork, good balance. Lofted in. Guangzhou can catch that. Or can he?
Yeah, but more positive again from Hearts. Fogel does really well to cut inside the defender. Clips it to the back post, and John O'Neill's very clever in allowing it to run and letting the slippery surface take the ball out of the park.
Brewster the target, wins the header too. That will work well for Paco Luna. What a good saving challenge from Stefan Mahi. Got that absolutely right, just as Luna looked as if he might be through on Yemi. Ian Murray, a popular figure with the Hibs fans. Brewster. Hit and hope. Mahi unhappy about the challenge from Luna as he cut the ball inside. Brewster does well to hold off the challenge of first Presley, then Severin, but his pass intercepted by Flugel. Good control from Luna. And the problem with that sort of pass is that the minute it's away from Murray, he's never going to catch it.
No, he certainly isn't. That's the slippery surface. But I tell you what, the Hibs strikers have done exceptionally well to start with. They're both showing really well, taking it in. Both of them are good in the air, and they're going to cause problems all afternoon.
And of course, his backup Hibs have Tom McManus and Alan Smart and David Zitelli, three strikers on the bench. But no complaints about the showing of Brewster and Luna so far. Frank Sosi doing the defending. 35 for just another week next Sunday. It's the big 36 for Frank. Luna working back to help out his defence. That's good play from Craig Brewster. Here's another opportunity. It's De La Cruz again, if he can get this under control. Still De La Cruz. Corner kick, touched into the side netting by Antiniemi. Newley sees De La Cruz knows this was a terrific chance for number 2.
Oh, fabulous football from Hibs. Lovely switch of play from Craig Brewster. De La Cruz is on his way, lifts his head. That's the one. Oh, he doesn't need another touch there. He doesn't need another touch. Gets the opportunity with the slip of the defender, and Yemi does very well to block the attempt.
Here comes the corner kick. Luna up to win the header. There's Larsson. Adam at the edge of the area to Fuller. And a foul against Fuller. Well, that was more awkward than anything else on a difficult surface, and I'm not sure this was worth a yellow card, but he's booked anyway.
No, I think he's very unfortunate here, very unfortunate. Just can't stop himself. He dives in, to be fair, but no malice intended at all. I think unfortunate to get the free kick here, or the booking rather. He does take him quite high, but it's... I
think on this sort of surface you have to make some allowances, and there wasn't much Ricardo Fuller could do there to get out of the way of Alan Orman. It looked spectacular. But anyway, Mike McCurry won't be listening to us, that's for sure. Yellow card. Hibs attack broken down by Mahi. Fuller. And that's a trip on the Jamaican this time. And I think his point to Mike McCurry will be, if you book me, why don't you book him?
I think he's a bit right here because he shows really good feet here, touches inside, and it's, although he clicks his heel again.
Well, that for me was more deliberate than the last one.
I would have to agree with you.
Nearly 19 minutes gone. Maybe not a thing of great beauty, this football match, but it is so compulsive in terms of viewing. And Hibs have managed to play some good football in testing conditions. Disappointed is Stephen Simmons. Hearts have made too many unforced errors in the opening stages if they're being critical of themselves, and they've still get a good shot on goal, really.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. The two young centre midfield players, Seven and Simmons, both exceptionally good players, but they're finding it very hard to try and match the three of the Hibs midfield down there, and they're having to bring the wider ones in, which is allowing the wider ones of Hibs to get further forward.
You're watching BBC Scotland, the first of our 6 live matches from the SPL, and trouble is brewing here. A yellow card for Craig Brewster. I think there was a clash there involving Brewster and Presley. Let's have a look, see if we can see what exactly happened in that little altercation between Brewster and Presley. Well, all that was missing was the handbags.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm both just getting carried away a wee bit with the atmosphere, rather Brewster getting carried away with the atmosphere a wee bit, but just a squaring up, really nothing too sinister in it.
So yellow for Brewster, yellow for Fuller, the two bookings so far. Maybury pushing up for Hearts. Simmons, good challenge by Brepner. It breaks for Adam. The Hibs working very hard at closing down the space for Hearts, making it more difficult than it is already. And the icing on the cake is that that's a Hibs throw. Brewster flicks it on. The lively De La Cruz almost onto it. Larson trying to get at it. And a free kick is given against Stefan Adam for backing in to Hibs' Danish defender. In terms of striking options for Hearts later in the match, they've got Kevin McKenna on the bench who they've used up front frequently this season, and Gary Wales as well has got a bit of pace, and later on that might just trouble the Hibs defence. Another free kick, a wry smile on the face of Brewster. I think the weather was better in Athens.
Just slightly, but I think that's going to be a real physical challenge all afternoon. Presley and Brewster both good in the air, both want to dominate, and that one's going to be very interesting as the game develops.
On the overlap, Maybury. The promising Severin. Hearts in trouble again, losing possession in a key area. It's Luna, tugs it wide. But Stephen Presley at the moment is telling us to cool down and make their passes work.
Yeah, great quick attack, counter-attack by Hibs. Luna here, he should have played the one. He lifted his head, saw John O'Neill, should maybe have gone with the pass early, decided to shoot himself, and it goes tamely by.
It's a frustrating spell, this, for Hearts. Not just looking at the scoreline, but the way this match is developing. And there's the man of the match telephone number if you want to take part. Ulysses De La Cruz would be a reasonable shout at this stage, but there will be other contenders making themselves known between now and full time. You can take part in that if you want to. A DVD player is the prize. Might into that myself, actually. We're at the midway point in the first half, and Hibs 1-up in the Edinburgh Derby, the first of the season. Hibs fans in full gloat at this stage, I would say. John O'Neill on the ball. In for Luna, flicked away by Webster. Frank Soze, lovely play, good pass, Brepner. Luna's made a great run, that will stay in, he's onside. Deflected, and it's Luna again! 2 for De La Cruz, 2 for Hibs. It's 2-0, 23.5 minutes gone. It gets better and better for the Hibs fans.
Oh, wonderful from Frank Soze. He's the one that gets the imbalance. Lovely ball from Bremner. Luna's got plenty of time, lifts his head, does take the deflection, and thank you very much, as easy as you like.
Frank Soze involved in the setup, and Grant Brepner as well. It was a beautifully constructed move. Luna timed the run to perfection. It was deflected along the goal line, and Ulises De La Cruz wasn't going to say no to that invitation. The Ecuador international, who is on the brink of heading towards the World Cup finals next summer with his country, now has a lot to shout about at club level. Some have been unconvinced about his contributions so far, but well, he's done everything here in the Edinburgh Derby, and he has the 2 goals that matter. Being badly stretched in defence, Mahe stumbles, Orman shot, very much on target. And that one stunned the fingers of Niemi. Hearts in trouble, Eric.
Hibs in full flow at this moment in time. Orman desperate to get forward. Eventually has a hit and goal, but oh, there's flooding forward there at that moment in time.
It's now a big problem, isn't it, for Hearts, because they have to push on, they have to look for at least 1 goal back to give themselves some hope of getting back into this match. But as they push forward, then the gaps appear at the other end for them.
Absolutely spot on, there's no doubt about it. Hearts obviously have to come now and try and get something back in the game before half-time if they can, but they really need just to settle. Their first target has to be just to settle down now, get a hold of the ball for a period of time and stop the Hibs onslaught.
And that's another pass for Hearts that goes astray. They just can't get it right so far. And all the noise is coming from the Hibs supporters as they celebrate the 2nd goal for De La Cruz. It was really a move to admire from Hibs. Great composure from Luna. He just looked up, saw De La Cruz, and timed the pass across to perfection.
Yeah, I thought he maybe taking too long, but he was very composed. It does take a deflection, but De La Cruz is right on spot to pop it away.
It's hard to believe that Ulises De La Cruz hadn't scored before today, this first Edinburgh Derby of the season. His first and 2nd Hibs goals, and he'll remember them for a long time to come. And still, Nick Colgan, relatively speaking, unemployed. Strike pairing has been a great success, hasn't it? Luna and Brewster working hard, moving around, stretching the Hibs defence, doing just about everything you'd ask of them.
Absolutely, they've been first class today. Luna and Brewster. Brewster obviously up for the physical challenge, but Luna's actually very, very good in the air. He's got a very good lead, times his jump very well, and he'll cause problems even to the biggest defender.
Colgan's kick out for Luna. Webster slipped. Presley's under pressure. In went Brewster. Goal kick. Nick Colgan, formerly of Chelsea and Bournemouth, 22 shutouts for Hibs, and he really has been a big player for them since arriving here and knocking on the door of a game for the Republic of Ireland as well. He's a squad regular these days. Went Webster. It runs for De La Cruz though. The touch of De La Cruz has been important for Hibs here because these are awkward conditions. There you see it. The rain is absolutely dinging down here. and you have to have a good touch to get the ball under control quickly.
Definitely, and you have to have good footing. I'm sure they've looked at it closely before the game in terms of what studs they would use, but the rain just keeps coming down and it's going to be more and more difficult as the game develops.
Adam to Maybury. Early ball in. Out comes Colgan. And gets there before Adam. There haven't been too many flutters in the Hibs penalty box. That was one.
Yeah, I just think Lowerson here maybe thought that it was a handball. Tried to react quite quickly, Adam. Colgan does very well to come out and smother it at his feet, and I think there was just a bit of a tussle between Lowerson and Adam.
The live football keeps on coming from BBC Scotland. Last week we had the first leg of Rangers against Dynamo Moscow, 3-1 at Ibrox, and we've got the return match coming up for you as well. That's on Thursday evening, the 1st of November, 5 o'clock kickoff, remember that one. Can Rangers finish off their Russian opposition and get through to the third round of the UEFA Cup competition? That should be compelling stuff, this certainly is. And Hibs very much with the upper hand. Stephen Simmons for Hearts. That's tempting. No takers all the way through. But that was the sort of ball into the box that might just ask some questions.
That was an excellent ball across the face of goal here. Lovely weighted pass, just desperate for either even a Hibs defender or a Hearts attacker to get a nudge on it, and that's certainly more encouraging. That's the type of ball that Hearts need to get across the face of the Hibs goal if they're going to try and get something back.
I'm worried about Craig Levine's visibility, though. He really could do with a couple of windscreen wipers there. Maybe he thinks it's still 0-0. It might be as well, because his team is under the cosh at the moment. All for a pair of contact lenses. Hearts trying to pick themselves up, and they'd certainly like to pull a goal back before half-time. Juanjo. Well, they won't pull one back that way. He is on scoring form, though. He did score twice last weekend in the 3-0 win against St Johnstone, but this was nowhere near Nick Colgan.
Yeah, but it does, at least they're creating something, and I think Hearts now, their fullbacks need to get on the ball. They need to try and break that imbalance. The Hibs two are being able to shut the four of them down at this moment in time, and until they get one of them breaking forward in possession, they're going to struggle to create in further forward.
Webster won the header. Adam can't get control, and quickly in was Grant Brebner. They'll whip it away from him, and back to Nick Colgan. Well, pre-kick-off, you wouldn't have thought there was any chance of a repeat of the 6-2 scoreline of a year ago, but Hibs certainly laid the foundation for a result along those lines. But Hearts will want to get themselves back into the match. A salvage operation. Stephen Presley had a little option there, but to knock that ball out of play. Well up was Paco Luna. Onto it, Craig Brewster unlucky that he couldn't get control. Yemi's clearance. Ian Murray won the header. Scott Sevlin. Nice play from Simmons. Fuller, here's a chance for Hearts. Ricardo Fuller on his debut. It's knocked off the line.
Oh, if he'd just shown slightly more composure here, he lifts his head, has a winder at it, doesn't strike it very cleanly at all, goes across the goal. And out for a corner.
Frank Soze to the rescue on the goal line, turning that one away from Fuller. But it was a real chance on his Edinburgh Derby debut for Ricardo Fuller. And if he could have pulled the goal back there, that might have made a whole lot of difference to the complexion of this match.
Yeah, he does really well to get into the space. He knows where he wants to put it, but he kicks it into the ground, screws it into the ground. Unfortunately for Hibs, there's nobody coming across the face of goal to tap that one in. Maybury has to hurry.
Hibs throw, Larsson with it. Grant Brebner has looked very solid at the heart of the midfield for Hibs. Craig Brewster trying to get onto Colgan's clearance, foul given against him. But he's certainly full of enthusiasm, Brewster. He really has put himself about in this first half. And he's been a big problem for the Hearts' defence. Same goes for Luna. And the ammunition from midfield's been pretty good as well. Larsson first there. Thomas Flugel to Stephen Simmons. Mahi. Simmons again. Adam trying to touch that one off for Flugel. Hearts try again with Mabry. De La Cruz wanted too much time. Flugel intercepted. The two new boys, Fuller and Mabry, combine, but not to great effect. Luna's pass, well read, well seen, and well cut out by Stephen Simmons. Flugel to Adam, and Stefan Adam hoped that Flugel was sprinting towards the box. Ten minutes to half-time, 2-0 Hibs. And talking about live football on the BBC, the Old Firm match is not much more than a month away. At Celtic Park, the second of the season. It's a 12 noon kickoff, BBC One Scotland. You'll see all the action from that Old Firm match. Foul by Brewster, who will have to beware. He's already got a yellow card against him, and there have been a couple of fouls since.
Yeah, Craig will have to watch himself. He's shown a great appetite today for someone of his age. He's working right across the line. A lot of aggression, but there he really needs to be careful, because he's taking Seven just from behind there, taking both his leg and his standing leg, so he needs to be very, very careful.
It was interesting there to see Frank Soze stepping forward and having some earnest words with Brewster. I think he's making that very point to him, that Hibs don't want to be down to 10 men, and Soze sees what's coming if Brewster doesn't watch these challenges. Severin to Simmons, age 22 and 19, the heart of the Hearts midfield. Brebner's pass, too long. Maybe sums it up at the moment for Hearts. A little bit deflated, a little bit dispirited.
Yeah, they certainly are at the moment. They had a spell there of maybe 5-6 minutes where they managed to get a hold of the ball, managed to get their full-backs out to make the difference. But slowly but surely Hibs are starting to threat again, and the threat of Brewster and Luna up front is exceptional.
And it's those two involved as Hibs try to mount another attack. And they have a free kick. Really has been a star showing from Luna in this match. A couple of goals against AEK Athens in Europe. Might have scored a third as well. Might have got his hat-trick and won it for Hibs on the night. Formerly with Dundee. Frank Soze with the free kick. Good header from Simmons. Back from Larsson. Brebner. That is a very good pass. Still needed a bit of controlling though. In went Flugel. But it was a good pass from Brebner. Impressed with him, Eric.
Wonderful. He's done exceptionally well today. Sitting in front from Matthias Jack, and a lovely switch of play there. And he's got a bit of confidence about him now.
And I think Tom McManus is stripped and ready to come on. That must be Craig Brewster coming off. And Alec McLeish must be sharing our concern, and certainly the concern of Frank Sosi, that one more foul and Brewster will get a red card. So it looks as if Tam McManus will be Brewster's replacement. That will be a disappointment to Brewster, who's clearly been loving the game, but he certainly doesn't want to get himself sent off. Juanjo, no joy against Ian Murray. No real threats in attack from Juanjo so far. And Craig Brewster with an incredulous look on his face. In fact, he hasn't shifted from the spot. And he's now beginning to trudge towards the touchline. And I think he'll need an explanation from his manager when he thinks about it. He'll possibly appreciate the wisdom of this.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a bit of a gamble for Alec taking him off, but he feels that Craig was pretty pumped up for the game. He's got the early booking, could potentially have got another one, but it's maybe a wise decision from Alec to take him off, but now we'll see how the game unfolds.
And Brewster straight down the tunnel. He's very disappointed to be leaving the match at this stage, but there were words with Alec McLeish of explanation, I imagine. And there's a little flashpoint involving Murray and Maybury. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, just a little flashpoint here. Seven comes in, lovely feet from wonderful feet again from O'Neill, and he just catches his leg there, and Murray just jumps into the tackle at the end, but it's a free kick for Hibs.
Brebner, Orma. And the news is that goalkeeping coach Ian Westwater has gone down the tunnel to offer words of consolation to Craig Brewster, and maybe to further explain that it was in Hibs' best interests that he came off at that stage, because you would have to think that one more mistimed tackle and he was off, and Alec McLeish knew that well.
Yeah, he certainly did. I think to Craig's credit, wonderful attitude he's shown right from the first whistle, but it might be a good decision from Alec to take him off, and they'll just be hoping that young Tom McManus can go on and perform in a similar vein.
De La Cruz to Luna. That was a good challenge from Mahi. Here is Stephen Mahi again. Stopped by Omando. De La Cruz. McManus! Skims the wrong side of the net for him. And De La Cruz hurt.
A great opportunity again. Stephen Mahi just losing possession. Wonderful little touch here from De La Cruz. Goes down. McManus, only one thing in his mind is to strike it across. Difficult one to take. Here we see it again. Lovely touch from De La Cruz. Goes down quite softly. McManus smack. Looking to go to the side, but it's just gone flashing by the side of Antoniemi's left-hand post.
Another mistake from Hearts. A promising attacking situation for Hibs. It's Luna. Stumbled and fell. So did Severin. And now Ricardo Fuller to Juanjo. Having a run at the Hibs defence. You get the feeling that Hearts should try a little bit more of that. Counting down to half-time. We're inside the last 3 minutes. Stephen Mahi gets the break of the ball, but across was Paul Fennick, alive to the situation, alive to the danger. And Fennick again. He's learnt a lot from his manager about how to play central defence. He couldn't get a much better tutor. Paco Luna again doing good work. But it breaks for Juanjo. Interception by Brebner. And whenever Hibs are in possession, they break downfield very quickly. McManus. Pretty impressive follow through that. Murray. There's the rain-spattered view from behind Willie Larson. Brebner. Away by Flugel. Larson back to Finnick. There will be 1 minute to be added on to the 45. So just over 2 minutes to go. Ian Murray. Good challenge from Maybury. No way past. Luna's flick. And a foul against McManus for a nudge on Webster. The two youngsters, McManus 20, Andy Webster 19. Fuller the target. Webster. That was Orman. Wanjo couldn't keep it. Hart's doing an awful lot of chasing. Hibs in charge. O'Neill's pass, well timed. That was the run from Tom McManus. Those empty spaces the Hearts fans have been today. A lot of them have decided to stay at home, rebelling against ticket prices. Hibs, I should say, playing their way out of the corner. In with Murray. Good block. Important one from Stephen Presley. As Ian Murray threatened. And some pressure for Hearts to try to withstand right at the end of the first half. In from O'Neill. It's a good header from Brebner. Up was Larson. Free kick to Hearts. And we've already played more than a minute of extra time. And Andy Webster looking distinctly dazed. He'll remember the first half for a long time to come. Didn't take him long to get off the mark.
He may not have to score another goal, I think, to endear himself to the Hibs fan.
2 for De La Cruz. And 2 for Hibs. And the Hearts supporters have had a little shout about in this first half. The first half which is now over. It has been an incredible performance from Ulises De La Cruz. He struck after 36 seconds, and it was he who got number 2 as well. His first and second goals for Hibs. It's been a very impressive showing from Hibs. And as the Hibs and the Hearts players head into the dressing rooms at half-time, let's hear from the Hibs assistant manager Andy Watson is with Chick.
Andy, what a start for you, but the replacement of Craig Brewster, first of all, presumably that was because of a yellow card and you felt there might be some danger about him?
Yeah, Craig was unfortunate to get the first yellow card, and the way it kind of transpired, he had 2 or 3 fouls after that. And in a derby, we know there's always got to be tackles and there's going to be blocks, and it would only maybe take 1 more. So, well, something we don't want to do, but Tom's been flying in training as well, so we had to make the replacement.
Well, first half for you?
It's been good, aye. We were talking to Ulysses before that try and get him up and into the box, and he's certainly done that.
Maybe a hat-trick from before the day is out?
Well, let's just get the game won, and whatever happens, we'll take it from there.
Thanks, Andy.
OK, Chick, thanks.
Yes, that Hibs dressing room will certainly be a very happy place at half-time. The many voyages of Ulysses have taken him from Ecuador to Easter Road, and he scored 2 goals in his Derby debut. Remarkable performance, and really, Stuart, only 1 team in it.
Yeah, the Hibs have been well on top. They've used the ball well. The switch from the middle or the left to the right-hand side has been crucial. I mean, they've got down the right-hand side so many times, and yeah, I mean, it does look very one-sided so far.
Yeah, and from Craig Levine's point of view, he must be very concerned, because Hearts at times have looked in danger of being quite overrun, John.
Yes, I think everybody said it. There's only 1 team in at the moment, and you can't take any away for Hibs. It's a horrendous start for Hearts, but you're looking for them just to be a wee bit more positive in the last third. They've had 1 half chance. Ricardo Fuller's missed it, but they've been very disappointed going forward. And unfortunately for them at the moment, every time Hibs go up the park, they look as if they could score a goal.
Well, let's play our way through the highlights of the first half of this remarkable Edinburgh derby with the thoughts of Stuart and John. And the opening goal came after just 36 seconds. Andy Watson said they'd been urging Ulysses de la Cruz, the Ecuadorian, to get up and join the attack, and my goodness, he did, John, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a tremendous strike. I mean, you'll see it from a different angle. That's the key ball, the touch and the turn, and I mean, that's exquisite. No goalkeeper in the land, and Niemi's as good as most of them is going to save that. As you see it from behind the goals there, he just digs it out, a little curl, and that's postage stamp.
Yeah, it wasn't just hit and hope. He actually tried to play it for that top corner, didn't he?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You see it here, there's the touch, nobody gets near him, and that is just unsavable.
Wonderful. Alec McLeish delighted, and well, you just have to applaud that kind of skill, Stuart, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, this was the ball we were talking about, the switch of play. Lovely interchange between Craig Brewster and John O'Neill, and I mean, De La Cruz showed a lot of composure, maybe a bit unlucky not to score again.
Little stumble just at the crucial moment, but Antonemi stood up well, to be fair to him. Now this is Paco Luna who had a chance here.
Yeah, well,
The
that's
second goal,
the second goal, yeah, but I mean, for me, that's the pass. Grant Brebner, I know De La Cruz has scored both goals, but for me, Grant Brebner's, he's been the man of the match so far. He's been pulling the strings, he's rangy passing from the middle of the park. I mean, that was beautifully weighted. Young Webster maybe get caught ball watching there. A little bit of luck with the deflection to De La Cruz, but 2-0. And you'd have to say no more than Hibs deserved. Yeah,
and this was Hart's half chance, Stuart, I suppose. Bit of a miskick, really, in the end.
It was a very good chance. I mean, he's one-on-one with Nick. I don't think he got his touch where he wanted it to start with, but the shot was going wide.
Now, this, of course, was Craig Brewster, who was substituted, as Andy Watson said, for tactical reasons. He's obviously not happy about it. Difficult decision for a coach to make, John.
It's always a difficult decision, but I think the blame to a certain degree has got to lie with the referee in the respect that he's booked Craig Brewster very early on for a nothing tackle. He booked Fuller for a nothing tackle. So what Andy Watson and Alec McLeish have done is correct, because the nature of the 2 bookings have been very soft, so it only takes one more. The sliding tackle there was probably his worst tackle of the game, and yet nothing happened. So it's a correct decision by the Hibs management. I don't think Craig will be too happy, but in a derby game you're 2-0 up, you keep 11 v 11, you're in the driving seat.
Yeah, from a player's point of view, Stuart, you want an explanation from the gaffer, don't you, really? And will he see it Alec McLeish's way? Probably not.
No, probably not. I think Craig went charging off down the tunnel, so he obviously showed his emotions, but the manager's not too keen on that. I know that Mixu got taken off a couple of times and he hooked him back. He doesn't like people charging off, but to be taken off in a derby game is unfortunate. But I do sympathise with him, because I think they took the decision purely because of what Robbo mentioned about the referee's early booking, and you can't win this game with, well, maybe Hibs could win it with 10 men, but it would certainly make it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and I suppose the decision is made, but it's a little bit easier in that Tam McManus can come on, who, as you said, has been flying in training, is obviously in good shape, and had a good shot into the side netting at the end there.
Well, they will lose Brewster's aerial power, but Tom McManus is very quick. I think his pace could hurt Hearts' defence as much as Craig Brewster's aerial ability.
From the Hibs point of view, they look a very well-balanced side, John, and there's threats coming down both wings, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Alex last year played a 3-5-2, and Stuart was a big part of that, playing down the right-hand flank. They were a very settled team last year. They knew wherever they played. They had O'Neill and Mateus Jack in the middle of the park, holding things. Little Russell playing off the front too. Big Mixu to keep them going. So they had a well-balanced team. This year, they've mucked about a little bit with their formation. There's been a 4-4-2, 4-3-3s. Today they're back to 3-5-2. They look perfectly well balanced. O'Neill and Brebner, as I say, for me, Grant Brebner's been fantastic today. They're pulling the strings. Hearts can't seem to get hold of the ball, and Hibs are creating chance after chance in the left back area. It's something Craig's going to have to try and sort out, but Hearts really they've nothing to lose now. They've got to go all out and try and get back in this game.
Absolutely. Well, you reckon that Grant Brebner's a contender for man of the match? Obviously, Ulysses de la Cruz certainly will be. Who do you reckon? You may not have made your decision yet. You've still got time, of course, to call in and vote for the player you reckon is our Bank of Scotland man of the match. You could win yourself a DVD player. 0900 10 200 25. 0900 10 200 25. Lines open until full time if you would like to vote for your man of the match. So, half-time in the Edinburgh Derby then, and it's 2-0 to Hibs. Of course, one other SPL match taking place this afternoon. That's up the road at McDermott Park, where we hope, but rather doubt that the weather's any better. St Johnstone against Rangers. Charlie Mann.
No goals in Perth, Dougie, but no doubt that Billy Stark will be the happier coach down in the dressing rooms right now. Nobody gave St Johnstone a chance ahead of this one, but it's the home side who should really have been ahead at the break. Willie Falconer, one of 3 changes St Johnstone made after last week's defeat at Hearts, came agonisingly close on 21 minutes with a terrific header, which had Stefan Kloss beaten but thundered just wide of the keeper's left-hand post. Surface water's been a problem here, as it has at Easter Road, with rain pouring down throughout the 45 minutes, and Rangers have been restricted to just a couple of long-range efforts from Fernando Rickson and Shota Avaladze, neither of which really troubled the on-loan Alan Miller in the St Johnstone goal. Keegan Parker brought out a superb stop from Kloss 5 minutes from the interval, a shot from fully 25 yards, but there was nobody in a St Johnstone shirt in a position to take advantage. Hartley, Dazovic and Parker have done well for St Johnstone, with Barry Ferguson and Arveladze best for Rangers, and I'm sure Dick Advocat will be ripping into his side just in those dressing rooms right about now. It's St Johnstone 0, Rangers 0.
Thanks very much, Charlie. And of course, St Johnstone still looking for their first win of the season. Could it really come against Rangers? Well, we'll obviously bring you the story at a full time. But back here at Easter Road, let's take a closer look at the 2 goals by which Hibs lead at half-time. And we've got a wonderful new high-tech piece of equipment which John Robertson has completely mastered. So talk us through this opening goal, John.
No, the first one, as you see, it's the way it's played. For me, the key moment comes as you'll freeze it here when the pass comes in. Now, as it comes forward and you stop the camera just about there, Hearts will be quite happy with that. And I think, you know, Stefan Mahi down there is in good position because he's expecting the ball to be played roughly down in that area, if anything. So he's got that covered. Now what happens, in other fact, is there's a good ball played through the legs of this player here into De La Cruz, who in turn just turns round and curls into the top corner. And for me, it's brilliant. But this is the key moment. If they run it on now, you'll see the pass coming through the legs of Thomas Flugel. Hopefully. Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. It will run on.
It will run.
Actually, Stuart, you reckon this was a piece of good ball. You don't reckon it was a
Mahi's been dragged to the ball. It's a great touch from De La Cruz, and as we've mentioned, that's exquisite. I mean, nobody's going to save that, and it's an absolutely fantastic goal, and the start that every Hibs fan and player in the management team would dream of, and obviously disaster for Hearts.
Yeah. Stuart, you reckon there's an element of luck about it, though?
Yeah, well, just the pass from Alan Orman. If he meant it, then it was a very perceptive pass, but I have a feeling that the way his eyes were shaped, he was maybe looking to play
looking to play it down there.
Yeah, maybe elsewhere. But you've got to congratulate the guy on the finish. It was tremendous.
It was one. Let's move on to the second goal then, and again, very good Hibs build-up, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were just talking about the way they play one touch. Grant Brebner's got into an area here, and when you see that they freeze it, we've got Hearts are very square. If you look right across from the full-back right across to the right-back, you know, you can draw a line almost through 5 players. Stefan Mahi has obviously seen De La Cruz running in, but the pass from Grant Brebner, we can see wonderful pass into an area. I think Webster has got wrong side of Luna, and Luna makes a run in. The ball holds up for him, and the rest is history.
And I suppose when you're that square, you're always likely to fall victim to that kind of ball, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you see young Webster's caught. He's still not even got to Luna yet. He's got time. A little bit luck here. It gets the deflection off Webster and falls perfectly for De La Cruz. And doesn't matter if you're a full-back, a striker or a midfield player, you ain't going to miss from there.
All right, from Hearts' point of view, Stuart, let's just actually talk what Craig Levein can possibly be saying in the dressing. He's got to be looking for his midfield to get more of a grip of the game for a start.
Well, yeah, we talked about John O'Neill and Grant Brebner having the major influence on this game, and I think he really needs to play man-to-man against those two. But, I mean, that's only the half of their trouble. Hibs are getting out on the right flank in particular, time after time, and he's got more than a few problems to talk about in his half-time team talk.
Well, the Hibs fans will be delighted. The proclaimers playing in the background, as I'm sure you can hear. And among those Hibs fans, I'm sure is absolutely thrilled with the way this match is going, is Dougray Scott, whose movie Enigma I saw last week and thoroughly enjoyed. And he's talking to Chick Young.
Dougie, obviously, as a Hibs fan, you'll be very happy with that first half.
Very happy. We played. We started well. I don't know how it was like 15-20 seconds. Ulysses put that one in, track and goal, and then we had all the possession. And then, you know, in that killer area of the field, we never quite converted a lot of the other chances we could have had. But you know, the second goal was good. So it's a good position to be in at half time.
Shouldn't you be hanging around Hollywood Boulevard or something on a Sunday afternoon instead of wet party and leave?
Easter Road's my boulevard.
This to be a Hibs fan all your life.
Since I was like, you know, my old man was a Hibs fan, so I used to sit in the North Stand with my old man for years. Used to go home and away, so I'm a proper bona fide Hibby, let me say that. Not just a fly-by-night. No, I've been watching them since I was 4. First game when I was 4.
Is there a culture difference hanging about with Alec McLeish and Tom Cruise?
One of them knows about football, one of them doesn't.
And one of them a bit better looking as well.
I know, McLeish is looking quite good these days, isn't he?
The Hibs fan.
Dougray Scott there with Chick Young, and we're just about to get underway with the second half here live at Easter Road. Hibs 2-0 in front. Can you see any change in the pattern of the game, John?
Well, it's going to be difficult. I think Stuart said it right way. Brebner and O'Neill are pulling the strings, and Dela Cruz has scored 2 goals, and that's Hibs' 3 main midfield players. So that tells you the story that Hearts haven't got grips in the midfield, and they need to get into that area to give their forward some ammunition to try and get back in the game. I hope so, but it doesn't look likely at the moment.
Yeah, and from Hibs' point of view, they'll be hoping that Tom McManus settles in and causes the Hearts rearguard the problems that Craig Brewster was.
If Tom McManus and Paco Luna can keep holding the ball up as they have, then I don't see any change in the way the game's going to be played. But you would expect, a rollicking from Craig Levein to his players, and I would think Hearts would come out battling, certainly for the first 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see, but at the moment Hibs have complete control of this first Edinburgh derby of the season. Let's go out and enjoy the second half once again with Eric and Rob.
Where the Hibs supporters are having a fair old half-time sing-song and plenty to sing about for them. A huge test of character coming up for Hearts. Can they respond to a first half which has been dominated by the opposition? Hearts have won only one of the last 8 Edinburgh derbies, stretching back over the last couple of seasons. At least I read that in Stuart Lovell's column this morning in one of the Sunday newspapers, so it must be right. And one of the amazing things about the half-time interval was seeing Lovell and Robertson both managing to work computer graphics at the same time as speaking.
Very, very impressed by Robbo there. I think a slight delay on the button to press to keep it going again, but Robbo, sure he'll master that with the next programme.
He should know not to press play and record at the same time. Teams back out for the second half, and Hibs with that 2-0 advantage. And is there to be any way back into it for Hearts? No changes in personnel, so just the one change since kick-off, and that was the withdrawal of Craig Brewster and his replacement by Tom McManus. Brewster having been booked and in grave danger of seeing a second yellow card. So there's Tom McManus. And, well, Ulises de la Cruz is grabbing the headlines. It's been such a strong team showing from Hibs. They've been in charge. Let's hear from Hearts. Peter Houston, the assistant manager with Chick.
Peter, what do you have to say to your team at half-time after that first half?
We've got to compete for a start, forgetting it's a derby match. It was a poor goal. OK, the first goal was magnificent out of the blue, but at the end of the day, as we never competed after that, and we have to go and show and hopefully get an early goal and start again.
You going to make any changes?
No, not yet, but we'll change it shortly if things don't progress.
Thanks, Peter, all the best. Let's go back to the action just a bit underway. Rob McCoy and Eric Black.
Thanks, Chick. Grim-faced was Peter Houston, and not looking too much happier is Craig Levein. At least he's dried his glasses during the half-time interval. But maybe there were parts of that first half he would have preferred not to have seen.
Yeah, it's been a difficult first half for Hearts. Hibs have really dominated the match. Real key areas, the boys say. Alec will be delighted with the first half showing. He's taking the gamble and taking Craig Brewster off, but if they continue this level of performance, then that won't make an enormous difference.
You're watching BBC Scotland, the first of 6 live SPL matches this season from us on a Sunday afternoon. And in terms of compelling viewing, this one so far has been hard to beat. Is it to be the Hibs procession continuing, or will Hearts battle their way back into it? We're about to find out. And as the guys were saying at half-time, midfield area is so crucial here. Hibs have been running the show, and Severin and Simmons have to get in about Messrs Brebner and O'Neill and try to turn the match Hearts' way. There's another top performer, Paco Luna, and of course De La Cruz grabbing the headlines with both goals so far. And little Antiniemi could have done about either of them, especially the first one. He could only admire. I'm sure that wasn't the feeling he had at the time, but he was rooted to the spot as the shot from De La Cruz flew into the postage-stamp corner. I'm sure that one will feature in our Goal of the Month selection in October. Fennick won the header. Now Laursen given away, straight up Flugel. Simmons and Severin and Presley playing through the pain barrier. Stephen Presley is an ankle injury, but didn't want to miss out on this one. Maybury on the overlap, and did that cross the line? Not quite. Alan Maybury again. Good footwork. Juanjo blocked by Murray. And ends up in the seat of his pants. Brebner's header. Fuller. That's Laursen in the way of Severin's pass. Stephen Mahi. Good challenge from Tam McManus. Kept it in as well. And Mahi prodded out his boot to knock it away in turn from McManus. Presley for Fuller. Laursen won the header. Flicked on by Brebner to O'Neill. Juanjo. Ricardo Fuller. Spinning off his heel and out of play.
Yeah, but he's showing a good, lovely step over, 2 or 3 step overs. Laursen does very well to watch the ball. Gets back goal side again, tries to take out it again, and he just caught the back of his heel.
There was no way past Uli Laursen for him there. Ian Murray's header. He's been very solid, Murray. Away by Webster for Hearts. Laursen again, well up. McManus in pursuit. And a free kick given against Webster's challenge. Up go Fennick and Laursen into the penalty box alongside Luna and McManus and De La Cruz. Driven in by Sose. And the whistle had gone.
Yeah, good deep ball in from Soze. Yeah, Ulis De La Cruz has just stayed offside just as it hit maybe, but good defending header and a good cover from Vogel tucking back in.
It's amazing, he might have had a hat-trick already, Ulises De La Cruz, when you think of the chance he had when he was through the middle, and he didn't really get the footwork quite right that time to get a good shot in on goal. But he has scored 2, so I don't think Alec McLeish has too much cause for complaint. Never stopped him before, mind you. And Simmons has hurt himself, I think, in that challenge on Murray.
there, just trying to get his body between it. Simmons comes across, a good tackle, and whether he's just caught his shin or I think it's his right foot, but he's been taken off for some treatment.
Not been too many Hibs passes failing to hit the target, but that was one of them. The second half is 5 minutes old. And if you've just joined us, number one, where have you been? And number two, Ulises de la Cruz has scored both goals so far. Still some treatment being given on the far side to Stephen Simmons. Looking for the all clear to get back on. Simmons keen to continue. Foul given against Webster for that challenge on Luna. Good learning experience, this one, for a teenager.
Oh, it's certainly difficult. Luna gets up again really early, doesn't allow the centre-back, young Webster, to jump, and again it's very, very difficult. Great timing in the air from Luna again.
Contemplating a change as Soze knocked the ball into the penalty box there. Steve Fulton will be the Hearts substitute, and Scott Severn, I think, will be the player to come off. So Hearts about to put a little bit more experience into the midfield area, and they certainly need to change something.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's been a difficult area in there, the 2 against the 3, and Hibs have dominated everything in the centre of the park. Stephen Fulton, obviously a wealth of experience, and he's certainly someone that could possibly take a hold of it, although we're looking at as a change, Rob.
Yeah, it's Andy Webster who's coming off. They put the wrong number up. Initially it was number 6, but it's Andy Webster off and Steve Fulton. And you see there from his number of appearances that he is a vastly experienced performer. And Hearts will hope that he can be influential. So Severn going into the back line and Webster off. Juanjo on the attack, trying to get round Ian Murray, but the free kick goes against him, and that was again great defending from Murray. Composed, calm, he just stood in the way of Juanjo, and this was all that Juanjo could do.
That's first-class defending from young Ian Murray here. Shows great pace because Juanjo certainly isn't the slowest. Gets his body in front, protects the ball, and eventually gets the... Well, here we see it again, just in front of him, protects the ball, and allows it to roll through.
Soze's header, flicked away by O'Neill. The outstanding Brevner flicks it on for De La Cruz. Mahi doing the defending, but it's back in Hibs' possession again. Again, it's Brevner with those quality passes. And Orman hits the deck.
Yeah, Orman's in full flight, going lovely feet, left to right, just to eliminate the defender. Mahi with the surface obviously quite slippy, his whole body weight's coming through. And it's a free kick for Hibs in a dangerous area again.
Rangers are 1 up at Perth, and it's Shota Arveladze has scored again his 4th goal for Rangers. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. Here 2-0 Hibs and a free kick with Frank Soze. Luna flung himself at it, didn't quite make contact. The mist is beginning to swirl around Easter Road. Visibility has certainly been reduced in the short while. Maybe that's Hearts' best hope at this stage. Fulton and Soze. Orman wins well against Flogel. The follow-up challenge was from Fulton. Hearts need to be aggressive, need to compete. And in terms of endearment for Fulton from the Hibs supporters, not. I don't think he's ever been popular figure with the Hibs supporters. Big parts Fulton of Hearts' cup-winning side, 98. Ten minutes into the second half, Antiniemi beaten twice already. Sose's delivery, Luna's header. Turned away by Maybury. And offside.
Here we see the value of Luna yet again. Deep ball in, well up there. What a fabulous leap, fabulous timing. Again, it's a real problem to defend it.
It was a bit like that guy who used to play for Aberdeen, wasn't it? He used to be quite good at hanging up in the air.
If I was half as good as that, I'd have been brilliant.
Laverson and Mahi. Brebner. Again, great vision from Grant Brebner. And Oman did well to keep that in, but Brebner is having an outstanding performance here. He's the former Scotland under-21 captain, full of promise, full of potential. We've known that for a long time, but he really is delivering here, Grant Brebner.
Yeah, he certainly is. It's been very difficult for him actually to establish himself in the Hibs team with Matthias Jack sitting in front of the back four, but he's come onto his own today, there's no doubt about that, and he'll be difficult to shift in this performance.
Yeah, Grant Brebner will have enjoyed this. A lot of doubters wondering whether he would fulfil the promise, but this must be one of his best shows in a Hibs shirt this afternoon. And you outshine John O'Neill, you're doing pretty well. Adam off, McKenna on up front for Hearts. Not quite the last throw of the dice from Craig Levein, but certainly pressing the gamble button as he has to. 2 down, nothing to lose now. Free kick given. Craig Levein doing some tinkering with the system, and he's got to give it a go, hasn't he?
Well, he certainly has to try something. McKenna has performed reasonably well up front for Hearts, so that might well be the one that could turn the game for him. If he can get a flick on, or and surely that's something he'll be hoping.
Suzy unchallenged, works the ball away to De La Cruz. Hearts will be perturbed that there was no challenge. In for Brebner, Suzy wants it. Frank moving at pace, if that's possible. And was Luna held back by Presley? Paco Luna certainly thought so, the Hibs fans agreed. Mike McCarry shook his head.
No, I've got to give that to good defending. Frank Suzy breaking forward now as well, but Presley's got to get a strong arm, strong body across the attacker coming in, so good defending in my man.
There's another good challenge, a bone-shuddering challenge from Ian Murray. And away by Niemi. That was all down to the intervention from Murray. He won that so well. He's giving it 100%. He's another who's doing his reputation no harm here this afternoon. The new Scotland manager, I'm sure, will have an interest in Ian Murray. And Maybury wins a corner for Hearts. Off Larsson. Set-piece opportunity for the Tynecastle team. McKenna and Fuller already up in the box. Flugel just outside. Andy Webster getting himself towards the area. Hearts really have to get some bodies into the box. Presley now is pushing up as well. Steve Fulton with the delivery, left-footed. It's not his best, and it's going to take a bit of catching. And that's a big disappointment for Hearts. There are a few opportunities to put pressure on Hibs, and they blew that one.
Yeah, it's important that Hearts now try and take advantage of any opportunity they have up front to try and get this goal back, and hopefully for them to turn the picture around a bit, because at this moment in time it's Hibs who still have control of the game. Stevie Fulton, I think, has made a difference. He's showing an old head in there, trying to keep possession of the ball, encouraging the players to get forward in the wider areas, and maybe that'll help them.
Eric will be picking the man of the match later on. You can still take part in the competition by dialing that number. Will it be Ulises De La Cruz? Chick's doing the interview afterwards, so he probably hopes not, because I don't think Ulises De La Cruz's English is too great. Chick's isn't wonderful, and that could be an interesting get-together between those two at the end. As Hibs threaten again with De La Cruz. The cut back, and what a chance that was for Ian Murray. The late run in at the far post might well have made it 3.
Oh, absolutely. I think comes off him here, he lifts his head, Oh, that's the first one from McManus. That's the golden one. That's the golden opportunity for them. Here we see again, lovely ball across from De La Cruz. McManus will be really disappointed he hasn't made contact. Murray slightly difficult, a lot of pressure on the ball, but another opportunity for Hibs.
He's been twice the finisher. That time he was the set-up man, and Ian Murray knows that that was a real chance to get what would have been his first goal of the season, and that would have been a memorable one too in this derby fixture. We're past the hour mark. Hibs in charge. Severin to McKenna. Bredner's hurt. Wanjo, Fuller. O'Neill intercepts. And turned away to safety by Alan Orman. Bredner's hurt, and it'll be a shame if he has to go off.
Yeah, it certainly will be. This is a centre-half's tackle here. He does actually catch him really badly on the ankle. Slightly mistimed. He wins the ball eventually, but it was certainly a bad tackle.
Mark McLeish hoping he doesn't have to make another change. And we were talking about one of the match contenders. Well, Grant Bredner has to be in there with a shout as well. Not trying to tell you your job, of course, but Eric will be making his decision maybe 5 or 10 minutes from full time about man of the match, and you could win a DVD player if your assessment agrees with his. Unlikely.
It will be difficult.
Sosie organising in the penalty box. It's been a quiet presence in the match as Sosie, but always important, always influential. Flugel's throw. Steve Fulton. Not a problem for John O'Neill. Just another reminder that we'll have the second leg of Rangers UEFA Cup tie against Dinamo Moscow live on the 1st of November. That's a week on Thursday, 5 o'clock kickoff. Don't miss that one. Rangers hoping to be in the third round draw. Kevin McKenna's shot at Easter Road, deflected behind. Corner kick.
Yeah, Big McKenna cutting inside here. This is a good passage of play actually from Hearts. In the last 5-6 minutes they've started to get a bit of pressure further forward. And if they can get something now from this corner or a goal quite quickly, then the game could change.
In-swinger from Wanjo. Severin was looking for it. Stays up in the penalty box, playing in the back four now since the Hearts reshuffle. And he's hobbling slightly, Severin, as well, which Craig Levein certainly doesn't want to know about. Part of the Scotland squad now, Scott Severin, and he would be intending to stay there. Fuller loses out to Sosie. And up and under from Murray, disappearing into the mist. De La Cruz, O'Neill, Orman. Having a run at Mahi. He's got a fair bit of pace, Alan Orman. But that was matched by Mahi. Presley. Thomas Flugel does well to hold off the challenge of De La Cruz. Ricardo Fuller. Sosie, beaten by Flugel, but recovered. Corner kick conceded, but it could have been worse. Determined play from Flugel. Hearts need a bit of that if they're to get a goal back and give themselves some belief that a point might be possible. Wanjo deflected, and in Stephen Simmons. Hearts have the goal back. 19 minutes into the second half, and suddenly something for the Hearts fans to get excited about. It's a good finish, his third goal of the season.
Yeah, the real problem here is that Hibs don't put two out to the ball. Hearts have got plenty of time, 2v1. Wanjo plenty of time to pick across. It's a lovely side foot finish into the corner of the net. Here we see plenty of time, takes the deflections. Simmons is the first to react, directs it across the face of the goal. And that's the goal that could get them back in it.
He steered that in quite beautifully, did Stephen Simmons. He scored this season against Rangers, remember that one? He scored against Dundee United with a header as well. And that was a very cultured finish. He didn't blast it, and he steered it in where he knew there was no keeping it out. So his third goal in the Hearts top team for the 19-year-old. And that's an important goal. He knew it as well the minute it went in, because that might just lift Hearts and give them the chance to rescue something from this fixture. A little bit of overheating. The challenge from Simmons on Luna, which the Spaniard didn't fancy too much. It's a booking for Simmons, so never a dull moment for him. First the goal in the booking.
Yeah, quite a busy last 5 minutes. Here we see it again. Luna's going to get to the ball first as we see it. Takes the ball away, and to be fair, young Stephen Simmons, I don't think he can actually see the ball at that point. He's so close to Luna, and possibly it's a yellow card.
Will now feel that the Hibs advantage is distinctly more fragile than it was. 2-0 sounded like a pretty good advantage, a solid advantage with Hibs going well. But now Hearts is 1 goal away from salvaging a draw out of this, and they've got time to do it as well. Tempting ball into the box, it was just too strong for McManus. Away by Flugel. Good work. Good work too by Ricardo Fuller. Heavy challenge on Orman.
No, I think he does try to get across. Orman does well to protect it. He hits his leg first, but he's clearly they're going to try and win the ball.
It was a sore one though for Orman from Fuller, who was booked, of course, in the first half. Sose's delivery. He's headed away by Mahi. At the back is Murray. And Colgan, who hasn't had too much to do in this match. He has had to pick the ball out of the net in the last few minutes. Luna offside. And Nick Colgan could do nothing about the goal from Simmons, which was expertly placed. Swirling mist at Easter Road. It's 2-1 Hibs. McKenna, Juanjo, is there to be a parting gift from the Spaniards? Fulton. That's well done. Lovely bit of skill from Steve Fulton. Sadly for him, the offside flag went up. Do with Heather the weather here at this point to explain what exactly is happening, but well, I think as detailed as I can get is it's misty. But Alec McLeish can see exactly what's happening in front of him. His team 2-1 up, but he's a little more concerned than he was. That's off Luna. Hearts throw. Always a key figure for Hearts is Stephen Presley. Fuller was fouled by Fennick, which is a lot of F's in the one sentence. "21 minutes left as Hearts go in search of an equaliser, and Hibs look for the goal that would make them feel safe about 3 points. The first Edinburgh derby of the season still to be settled. Fuller the target. Laursen won the header. Back in from Simmons. Fulton, good touch, good back heel, and away by Laursen. Couldn't quite get that control of Luna, and displaying his frustration. Steve Fulton seems to have made a bit of a difference for Hearts, Eric.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, he's managed to get his foot on the ball. He's an experienced player, good passer, has got them organised round about them. There's two young boys in there, Severin and Simmons, both working exceptionally hard in the first half, but not getting close to people, and he certainly steadied the ship in there, and they're now building from that.
De La Cruz, a dangerous pass to attempt. Guangzhou has it. Hearts looking a lot livelier. Guangzhou. Hibs throw. And the Hibs fans, I think, for the moment have put their celebrations on hold, because they realise now that this is much more finely balanced than it was after the goal from Stephen Simmons. Deflected in towards him, but that really is a top quality finish. He just opened the right foot and steered it in inside the far post. Looks a real prospect. We spoke about Ian Murray earlier on the Hibs side, and Stephen Simmons is one who could make it if he progresses. Luna's header flies all the way back to Fuller. Ricardo Fuller slipping and sliding. Torrential rain for much of the afternoon, and the pitch has felt it. Scott Severin, and an offside flag goes up, which bemuses more than a few inside Easter Road. Possession given away by Maybury. Brebner, good pass. Orman couldn't quite get on the end of it. I think he took his eye off it. Angry with himself because there might well have been something happening for Hibs there. Again, the range of passing from Brebner, impressive. Well, we were praising Fulton, but that wasn't one of his better passes. And I think he's being told so from the touchline area. The Old Firm match is, the next one is just over a month away. Celtic against Rangers at Celtic Park. We'll be there. It's live on the BBC, and it's a 12 noon kickoff, 25th of November. Good play from Mahe. Laurison's header. His aerial power is important for Hibs. Well, there was a delay there before the whistle, wasn't there, from Mike McCurry? Free kick given against Orman for a trip on Fulton.
Yeah, Fulton just gets a little touch here, and to be fair, he's impeded his way forward there, and I think that's fair enough. It's a free kick in Hearts' favour.
Maybe in the referee's favour. He was waiting for an advantage, which didn't come. What can Hearts make of the free kick into the busy box? McKenna there, Simmons there, Fuller, flicked away by O'Neill. And maybe he's disappointed that he couldn't keep that in and keep the pressure on. Kept in by McManus. Yellow card for Luna for a late one on Severin. And I wonder whether Alec McLeish might think about another substitution, because he's been getting a bit heated up in the second half.
Yeah, he's had 1 or 2 rash tackles as well. Again, it's great enthusiasm, but it's a striker trying to come back and maybe win the ball. He's very, very enthusiastic, but it's 1 or 2 tackles that might leave him with a red card, should one give a similar nature to the first.
It's 2-0 Rangers now at Perth, and Torrey Andre Flo has scored the second. Ricardo Fuller shot blocked by De La Cruz and forced away by Souza. So just in case you missed that one, it's Torrey Andre Flo for Rangers. at McDermott Park, and that adds to Shota Arveladze's opening goal, and he's not happy. Free kick to Hibs, 15 minutes left. Given against Kevin McKenna. I think the ice might have to be applied shortly to the Hibs manager. Colgan's kick out, aimed at Luna. McManus after it. Presley has to play it, and does well. It's off Luna and behind. But Alec McLeish, Sherrick, will be feeling a little bit more nervous about this match than he was, because it looked as if Hibs were cruising. Dilla cruising, maybe.
Well, they certainly were. They were in full flow at one point. I think they've lost a wee bit from Brewster, to be fair. I think the Hearts back four have coped slightly better with McManus and Luna, and I think Brewster's presence, physical challenge, was causing them no end of problems.
O'Neill forces it through from McManus. Hits the deck. Play on, says Mike McCurry. Another good header from Willie Larson. He attacks the ball so well. Severin to Niemi. McKenna need more time than he thought there. Juanjo, was an arm used? Yes, it was. Chested down by Luna from Murray. McManus got his head to it. Turned away by Mahi. And Stephen Mahi again. Ricardo Fuller maybe feeling the pace of the game at this stage. Hart's about to make a second change. Gary Wales, I think, will be the player to come on. Here's McKenna, but Colgan has it.
Yeah, again, Steve Fulton, nice link pass, lovely first time pass. Fuller leaves it, and McKenna still chasing the lost cause there, and Colgan does really well to come up and pick it up.
Well, as I suggested, Ricardo Fuller is looking a little bit tired, and it's going to be he who will give way at this stage. He'll have found this pretty energy sapping, I would imagine. But I think he's shown enough promise to suggest that he might well be a longer-term acquisition for Hearts. Craig Levine will have a good look at him. But for now, it's the extra pace of Gary Wales which is introduced to try to find another goal. De La Cruz turning away from Presley. Mistake by Maybury. And a spectacular effort by John O'Neill.
Yeah, green gate feet from De La Cruz here. Turns inside, doesn't connect at all with the cross. Tries to take a touch there, maybe should have tried to clear it, but it's a difficult one for him.
O'Neill won the header. Brebner, Luna, and Grant Brebner again. Orman is on the move, and for once the pass too pacey from Brebner. And Alan Orman knows it's a long way back. Not quite that time from Grant Brebner. 11 minutes of the 90 to go. 2-1 Hibs. De La Cruz with 2. And Simmons giving Hearts hope. Orman's cross. And McManus hurt as he won that header. A clash of heads.
Yeah, the ball just comes off Stephen Presley. Difficult one to take. McManus goes for it, and I think it might just have been a clash of heads or something there for both players down.
Yep, Simmons and McManus were the two players going for that one. And both in need of some running repairs.
Here we see it again, yeah. Oh, it's just the back of his head, Simmons' head, that catches McManus. Both going up, they're both trying to get on it. McManus in front, and it's a clash. The back of their heads just meet there.
So both have to go off before they come back on. Simmons has been involved in one or two little scrapes in the second half, but keen to continue. The angled ball from Mahe to McKenna. Souze's headed away. And McManus already back in the thick of it. The time now is beginning to tick away from Hearts. 9 minutes to go. And they trail by 2-1. Craig Levine will be having a nervous look at his watch to check on what's left for his team. They've been outplayed for much of the match, but that doesn't mean they can't get a point out of it. Wales slipped, Larson dallied. Souze, De La Cruz, prodded forward for O'Neill. That's a good pass from McManus. Has he got the pace to get in front of Mahe? He does. And good covering from Scott Severin. Started off in midfield, now he's at the back and showing all his qualities here.
Yeah, good stuff in the first part. 1-2 movement in the midfield clear. McManus is released into the space. He's outrun Mahe, but the covering defender Severin gets across really well, but it's a Hibs corner and another threat.
Four-man, and out for a throw-in. Back it goes from Souze, up was Luna, and away by Simmons. McKenna hot in pursuit. Golden's clearance. It was a wild one from Brebner. And I don't think really you can complain too much about that, Grant Brebner.
No, I don't think so. He's never getting to the ball there. He's made a lunge to try and maybe nick it away from the Hearts. Young Simmons there, but he was never really getting possession of that.
Fulton's free kick. Larson's header. Juanjo looking for some room initially for the shot. In from Simmons. Fennick's header. Now O'Neill. And he wasn't too bothered where that went, as long as it was away from the Hibs penalty box. But it's heading back that way from Yemi. Larson again. Stephen Simmons. Alan Maybury. Cross deflected. And again it's Uli Larson who seems to be on the end of just about everything at the back for Hibs at the moment.
Yeah, he's been outstanding today as well. He's worked it tirelessly, very good in here, as is Fennick. They've defended very well.
Alan Maybury's cross is inviting. Wales went for it. Flogel went for it. And it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a reasonable ball in. Difficult for the goalkeeper to come. Young Wales gets up. Good defending though. He's never getting a clear header on goal, but it just shows you how quickly the game can change.
2 goals this season for Hearts, Gary Wales, both against Dundee in a 3-1 win. Very promising 22-year-old he is. Hibs about to make another change, which is probably more about wasting some time rather than anything else, but it's David Zitelli, and I wonder if it's Paco Luna who will be withdrawn. Zitelli's only goal of the season could have been an important one. And there's an elbow in the face for Severin from Luna, and I think that will make up Alec McLeish's mind that Luna will be the player to go off. He's already been yellow carded. And I'm told it is Luna who's heading off. Flugel. Well wide. So it is Paco Luna to come off and David Zitelli to come on. And well, this has been an outstanding show, hasn't it, Eric, from the Spaniard?
Yeah, I think he's performed very well. Certainly in the first half, he was with Brewster, probably two of the best players with Bremner in the first half. But he's worked very hard. It's been a difficult one in the second half. The Hearts back four have got a bit more of a grip of it, but it's a very good performance from Luna. Very good performance.
Presley's header. And again, John O'Neill was well up. Stephen Mahe inside the last 4 minutes. Steve Fulton slipped as he played the pass. Almost misjudged by Murray. Fans starting to make a noise again, anticipating the final whistle. I think they'd take it now if they could. De La Cruz, Orman. His cross blocked by Thomas Flugel. Orman was held back by Flugel. With a fistful of his shirt. That's a free kick. And a chance for Hibs to try to get the goal, which would seal it. At 2-1, the doubts remain. David Zitelli's shot was struck well, but it was straight at Antiniemi.
Yeah, it's a lovely clean strike from Zitelli, just round the wall, good positioning from Niemi, and he takes it comfortably.
Well won, Tom McManus for Ulises de la Cruz. There's another chance. Colgan's clearance came off Presley's chest. Offside flag, which gives us a chance to ask Eric who the man of the match is.
Well, I'm going to have to go for Grant Bremner. I thought his first half performance was absolutely outstanding. Maybe less in view of the second half, but certainly no less determination or work rate, and he's really linked things for Hibs from the back three through into the middle area of the park and then sometimes forward. So Grant Bremner's my man of the match.
Anjo's cross bounces away from Flugel. Alan Orman, full of pace, full of running even at this stage of the match. 4 maroon shirts around him. And he was really outnumbered there. 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played, so that means 4 minutes away from the final whistle. David Zitelli, can he tie it up for Hibs? Not like that. Might well have turned that across goal where Tom McManus was waiting. Decided to have a crack.
Yeah, good discipline from Zitelli initially to hang out. Good ball from Orman, but he really doesn't get any direction behind that at all and mishits it eventually, and it's gone tamely wide.
Can Hibs hang on in there, I wonder? They might do more than just that, because Tom McManus is onside. He's blown it. It was a real opportunity. He did everything right initially because he cut inside and made his angle a little bit better.
He makes a great flat run here to keep himself onside. He's got plenty of time. He's composed at this point, and then all of a sudden he's decided to try and open his foot and fire it into the top corner, and it's gone wildly away from goal.
Well, he certainly opened his foot. It wasn't even a corner flag drop. That one, it was well wide, and Tom McManus disappointed. Alec McLeish disappointed as well, because that would have enabled him to stop chain smoking, because he's concerned at this stage, or chain chewing, I think, as it is.
Yeah, certainly that would have finished it and ended the game in a high for Hibernian, but I'm sure he'll still be happy if it's a victory today. A well-earned victory, I think, coming mainly from the first half performance. Been a better balanced match in the second half, but I think Hibs certainly scraping it with the first half dominance.
There you saw Tom McManus looking skywards. You can't believe he did that. But Hibs still ahead. They have the advantage. It's all down to what Hearts can do in these last couple of minutes. We've already played nearly a minute of time added on. 2 to go. 2 minutes between Hibs and 3 priceless Premier points against their deadliest of rivals. Craig Levine directing players forward. He has to get bodies into the box. He has to put Hibs under pressure at this stage. Otherwise, the points are staying right here. That was a bad challenge from O'Neill on Fulton. Hearts free kick, and this will signal the charge of the Light Brigade, I think, as the maroon shirts head towards the opposition box. Presley goes up, Simmons goes up, McKenna's there, Wales is there, Flogel. There's a ruck of Hearts players just inside the area, waiting for the delivery from Fulton. And the whistle goes in Hibs' favour. It's a free kick to the home team, and that has Hearts players hanging their heads in dismay. The clock tells us that there's not much more than a minute to go of the first Edinburgh derby of the season. That's a Hearts free kick given against Grant Brebner, and some of the Hearts fans heading for the exits, despite the fact that 1 goal would give their team a point. Sose's header away. The clock ticking towards a Hibs victory. Gary Wales can't keep it in. A disappointing ball into the box from the Hearts sub. And now just 10 seconds away from 3 minutes of stoppage time, and these Hibs fans know the final whistle is approaching very fast. Full time at Easter Road. Hibs have won the Edinburgh Derby, the first of the season. Handshakes on the touchline and celebrations in the stands for the Hibs supporters. It matters so much for them, it matters so much for the Hibs captain Frank Sose as well. He's enjoyed the moment, and Ulises de la Cruz will probably never forget it. He scored after 36 seconds, he scored again in the first half. Paco Luna was another outstanding performer for Hibs, and despite the fact that Stephen Simmons pulled a goal back in the second half for Hearts, a good finish it was too. It raised hopes, but I suppose when you think about it, they were flickering hopes, because the better team has won here this afternoon. Hibs had more where it mattered, and in the midfield area, which was always going to be crucial, they had the top players. Alan Mabry's first taste of Edinburgh Derby action, same goes for Paco Luna, and all these players will have their own special memories of this Edinburgh Derby afternoon. Man of the match, Grant Brebner. Let's hear from him now.
Grant, really exhausted. I don't blame you after that performance. I don't know if that's sweat or rain or whatever, but a wonderful win for Hibs.
Definitely. I think if the game was going on, Hearts were coming more and more into it. But obviously they were going to get that during the game. First half, I think we sort of totally dominated it. And if we'd have got the third goal, I think it would have killed it.
What a start for you.
It was, aye. We've lost a couple of leads in the past, but thankfully we've been able to hold on to that one.
Yeah, Lucius De La Cruz was looking at man of the match at one stage. I was a bit worried about interviewing him, getting what his English like, but he's turning into a goal machine, hasn't he?
Definitely. I think that's what he needed as well. He needed a goal, and you can see with his performance today. As you say, I think there was a few players that could have got the man of the match today.
You must be pleased as a big Hibs fan today. The real spotlight was on the Edinburgh Derby, not overshadowed by the Old Firm game.
Well, yeah. Personally, there was, you know, I've had my ups and downs since I've been back, but thankfully I've hit a bit of form now, and I just want to keep it going.
You're in this team to stay?
Hope so. I've given the manager something to think about.
Good go away about it. Bank of Scotland SPL man of the match. Well done, Grant.
Thank you.
Cheers, pal.
Sunshine over Leith, metaphorically anyway. Hibs have won the Hearts derby 2-1 and have now lost just one of their last 11 matches against their city rivals. They're unbeaten in the last 5. It's the green half of Edinburgh who celebrate tonight, and I don't think anyone would really argue with the outcome. 2-1, Hibs win it. 2 goals by Ulysses De La Cruz. Stephen Simmons pulling one back for Hearts in the second half. It's been an enthralling 90 minutes in the rain. And young and old Hibs fans will celebrate tonight. They will move above Aberdeen into 4th place in the table. Well, Stuart Lovell and John Robertson and I certainly enjoyed that match, and I don't think, Stuart, that you could have any quarrel with the outcome, really.
No, I think Hibs' first half performance won them that game. Hearts certainly came into it a little bit, but I don't think they were anywhere near as dominant as Hibs were in the first half. And Stevie Thornton came on and made a few passes and made a bit of a difference, but I don't think there was any question Hibs deserved to win that game.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, an improved Hearts performance though, John, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what Craig Levein would have been wanting from the start. He'd want his team to go out, make passes, put Hibs under a little bit of pressure, get the ball forward, but they didn't. It was a bad start for Hearts. The first 30 seconds, lose a goal. Hibs rightly dominated the first half, and although Hearts had the better of the second half, you didn't see them getting the 2 goals back. It made for a thrilling last 20 minutes getting the goal. Yeah. But ultimately Hibs had the better chance in the last 20 minutes, so he'll be disappointed. But 1 or 2 bright spots with Simmons and Fuller making his debut, so hopefully Hearts can go on and improve.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things you take out of the game, for both sides. There are a lot of good young players out there today. Some of them only 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Simmons. I think he's got a bit of determination about him, a few naughty tackles, which I think you're entitled to make in the derby game, and took his goal well. I mean, that's certainly encouraging for them. And young Tom McManus coming on for Hibs at the end and using his pace to good effect.
All right, let's bring you then the story of the match then, and the first goal came, as we know, after just 36 seconds play. Haven't checked the stats yet. Must be one of the quickest goals ever in an Edinburgh derby, I would think, and it was Ulysses De La Cruz, John.
Yeah, as we said, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a great pass in there, good touch, and as we said already, that's just unsavable. You won't get a better finish than that the whole of the weekend in Britain. It's absolutely magnificent, and judging by his face, he looked kind of pleased with it himself.
Contender for goal of the month, Stuart, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably won it already. I think Grant Bremner touched on it, you know, just as in his interview there about Ulysses De La Cruz needing a goal for his confidence, because you know, I think there is a lot of pressure on him with his transfer fee.
I'm surprised you're saying that's goal of the month when Dave Bingham scored a cracker yesterday at Rugby Park, but we'll pass over that one. But De La Cruz, another chance there. Good build-up from Hibs, John, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the first half, as Stuart said, they dominated the whole match, and they kept carving Hearts open time and time again. And here, young Webster caught out. He's unlucky again. He's got the deflection right into De La Cruz's path. And at that time, you know, you're honestly looking at him scoring 2 or 3 more. But Hearts dug in there and fought back, and you know, they got their goal back in the end. But I suppose, being honest, I think the result was about right.
And of course, one of the big talking points of the first half was the substitution of Craig Brewster for his own protection, as they say, after he'd been yellow carded. And I think, whether the decision's right or wrong, Hibs possibly lost something in the second half with his absence, Stuart.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, I thought Tom McManus would trouble Hearts more with his pace, but you know, I mean, you had to expect Hearts to rally the way they played in the first half, and certainly the strike force for Hibs weren't as effective in the second half.
Yeah, this could well have made it 3-0. Tom McManus misses it, and Ian Murray over the bar.
Yeah, good chance actually. I don't think Ian will be too chuffed to miss the target from that range. A good break for De La Cruz, and lifted his head well, knocked the ball in, and it's a bad miss.
And then the Hearts goal, which well, wonderfully well taken, John. You have to say.
Yeah, it's a great finish with Stephen Simmons there, and we'll look at it. in more detail later on, but I think it's Alan Norman sleeping on the post. And when the ball comes back to Stevie Fulton here, you'll see from a different angle that Alan Norman puts one and he compounds the error by not staying on the post. And Simmons, it's a beautiful tuck away from a young lad who's got a very, very big future.
Yeah, just opened up his foot and glided it away, and Alec McLeish not quite so happy at that point, certainly. But Hibs, as you said, fellas, had chances towards the end. David Zitelli, a free kick straight at Niemi.
Yeah, this was a decent strike. I think David Zitelli was a banker to hit that one rather than curl it in for a cross. But no, I mean, I think even though Hibs didn't manage to dominate the second half, they still had clear-cut chances.
What about this one? He shanks this one, doesn't he?
We were talking about this. I don't know whether they actually see where the ball ends up, but it's for a throw-in outside of the 18-yard box. And
here's your angle here, Stuart.
It finishes behind them.
He's a good mate of mine, Tom, and I will be giving him some savage stick for that. That was pretty rotten finishing.
Yeah, he will be more relieved than anyone, I think, that the match still finished in a Hibs victory, because that really was a horrible miss, wasn't it? Anyway, 2-1 it finishes. The Hibs fans celebrate, and I think we can now hear from Alec McLeish. He's with Chick.
Well, Alec, is relief the mood that you feel?
Yeah, I think so. In the end, Hearts put us under bad pressure with a high ball game. Last week we came unstuck at Tannadice, and I thought a bit of deja vu, but credit to the defence. I thought they were great today. Ulrich Larsson, Frank, Fennick, outstanding.
The substitution of Craig Brewster, was that for his own defence?
Yeah, you know, the referee, I felt, would have been a bit harsh on him and gave, 4 or 5 fouls against him. You throw your arms up for leverage. I don't think he's a dirty player, Craig Brewster, and he doesn't lead with his arm intentionally, certainly not. And he was under pressure after the booking, and he had another 3 or 4 fouls after that. So we were walking a tightrope with Craig, and I'd have been kicked myself if I'd left him on and he get sent off.
So you're a good manager, I suppose, but good players in your team as well. De La Cruz was a candidate for man of the match. Our man-year-old pal Eric Black gave the vote to Grant Brebner.
I would agree with Eric. I thought Grant Brebner was immense for the 90 minutes. He had almost the perfect game, but for me, Eric's right, and I would agree with that. De La Cruz was fantastic first half. The problem with De La Cruz and Orman, when they go over the far side, is to try and keep them, tight in terms of instructions, and it's difficult to get messages across. Some Hearts went with 3 at the back. They forced the game on us, and we left 3 up. They were causing us problems with an extra man in midfield. But credit to my players. I felt we deserved to win it, and I thought we still put the game well beyond Hearts.
Yeah, you were comfortable at half-time. Did you get nervous? Well, we saw pictures of you looking a bit nervous in the second half.
Well, we still had good chances in the second half. De La Cruz goes to the byline, cuts it back, and it goes through Tommy Manus' legs. Tom at the end there, certainly on the counter-attack, should probably do a little bit better. But it's great to see McManus getting in and getting these chances, and it's only a matter of time before he starts putting real pressure on Brewster and Luna and scoring regularly.
Well done, Alec. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Chick. Thanks.
Yeah, so Grant Brebner, the man of the match, and Alec, no doubt, delighted with his midfielder, as he is with all his players, and congratulations to the winner of our Bank of Scotland Man of the Match competition, who is Tom Clark from Kincardine, who predicted rightly that Grant Brebner would be Eric Black's choice. Now, of course, one other SPL match taking place this afternoon at McDiarmid Park, bottom of the table St Johnstone against Rangers.